like to move to our poll question. So we had asked our audience what they thought the key attribute of a top quartile regulator is. And I see the results here on the screen. So independence, 29%, accountability, 10%, certainty, 17%, effectiveness, 22%, and then efficiency. So a bit. So I'm going to turn to you, Colette, and each one of you have different backgrounds and different perspectives that you bring to this. So are you surprised by that result? And I guess what should the OEB take from the fact that, you know, those 5 attributes, I think there's, you know, a pretty equal response to each one of them.
Thank you. And before I respond to that, I want to say to David, thank you so much for speaking about balancing the interests. That's such a very challenging role of the regulator. And a top quartile regulator has to be especially focused on that in as much as the challenges are evolving and changing. So to Ben's earlier point about ensuring sustainable, affordable, reliable energy, we have to now take on a number of other factors in that, moving toward clean energy goals, making sure we are thoughtful about the environmental impacts of this work, and also from an environmental justice perspective. So David, I just want to say thank you for rounding out that group. What I took from the poll results was, whew, thank goodness. I talked first about independence. I think there is a great amount of consensus there. And what I also took from it is that these, you know, tens, over 100, almost 150 of us here are really focused on efficiency and how this work is done well and right. We are all working more and harder than we've ever worked. The challenges are greater than they've ever been. And I remember hearing that 15 years ago when I started in this work. And we have worked on that together for over a decade in the US and Canadian regulators in my time in this role. We have to find ways to do this work well and right, but to do it efficiently because we are all working on so many initiatives and things are moving much more quickly now in this energy transition. So I take that to heart, and it is incumbent upon the top quartile regulator to work expeditiously and efficiently.
And do you agree with that? As a regulated entity, that efficiency is key?
Yeah, I think I do, Christine. I think I'll maybe just comment on independence as well and seeing that as top. I think perhaps we can read that a little bit in terms of the survey as what people are saying is independence, but trust, respect, confidence, right? If you view the regulator as independent, probably what you're really saying is you've got confidence in the decision-making and the outcomes that are coming out of the regulator. So I think that goes to some of the points that David has made. I think efficiency is really important because it's easy to add more and more process, more and more data in order to strengthen the outcome or to be able to defend the outcome. But actually, there is a point at which you get diminishing returns, and having the confidence to set an efficient process and the skill to set a process which is efficient but which still is demonstrably a good and fair outcome and people are happy with, I think it's really important. I'm sure we'll talk about it. I'm from the UK originally. I've been in Australia for the last 6 years. I've been impressed with how efficiently regulation works in Australia. I really think it's fit for purpose. It's not too much, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that.